Hey there, it's Monkey. In this short video, we're going to talk about the Plague Heart-Infestation-Siege mechanics for State of Decay 2. Now, they've been around for a while, but what Undead Labs did in Update 33, the Heart Attack update, was to bring these previously disconnected events together into a cohesive narrative tied to each other and your community's actions and inactions. Plague Hearts are the source of the Heart Attack mechanics in the game, but it's the map difficulty that determines the number of Plague Hearts in a playthrough. So the more Plague Hearts that are going to be on your map, that means more Heart Attack mechanics for you to deal with. Plague Hearts all start asleep. This is going to be the icon for what they look like when they're asleep. Now, when you wake a Plague Heart up, if you've located it, it's going to look like this angry sort of red icon, and once you've eventually destroyed the Plague Heart, it'll look like this icon as long as there's any loot left to pull out of it. Once you've looted it, it'll disappear and be gone from the screen. Now, Plague Hearts are hidden at first on your map, so you don't know exactly where they're at. However, you can use the map to get an idea of the general location of where they're at. So, for example, these scouting towers here and this home site, they all have like red outline or red in the icon itself. And if you see this, that's the indication that there's one or more Plague Hearts in the vicinity of these icons. So you can open up your map right at the beginning of the game and use the landmarks, the home sites, and like the scouting towers to get a good sense of like where Plague Hearts are and where they're not, in case you run into a scouting tower that doesn't have a red outline on it. You can pinpoint exactly where a heart is by either getting close enough to it physically to spawn its icon on the map, or by using something like a scouting tower to go and scout out all of the buildings and stuff like that in the area. Once you've done that, the Plague Heart and its territory are going to appear on the map. So if you look at this example here, this is a sleeping Plague Heart that I found from that scouting tower. From the top of the image all the way to the bottom of the image, this red ucky sort of cloud around it, that's the Plague Heart's territory. Any activity that you do in there is going to have some impact on waking up that Plague Heart, and I'll get to that in a moment. As a side note, I just want to point out that whenever you find a Plague Heart from the scouting tower, they're all going to be a bright red icon. It's only when you look at the map that you will be able to determine whether it's asleep or awake at that point. Now, as I said, that red cloud around a Plague Heart on the map, that's what's called plague territory. So it's in a fixed radius around each Plague Heart. Multiple Plague Hearts can overlap their territories with each other, particularly on higher difficulties. When you enter plague territory, your character's going to call it out. You're going to see the screen's going to be like looking like there's kind of like blood in the air and stuff like that. It's pretty obvious. Plague territory is going to block your ability to claim outposts or bases. The Zeds that spawn in plague territory are generally going to be blood plague zombies, which means that they can infect you with the blood plague. And things that you do in plague territory, like I said earlier, can wake up nearby hearts. The examples for that would be directly attacking a Plague Heart. If you do that, that's going to wake a Plague Heart up like straight away. Letting Screamers scream in plague territory, that contributes greatly to waking up a Plague Heart, as does killing aware Zeds, so Zeds that know that you're there. Those two things combined together, both the Screamer screaming and killing the Zeds. Think of it like a meter that adds up to, the Plague Heart being 100% awake. Now, the harder the difficulty, the less screams plus kills it takes to wake up a Plague Heart. But that said, if you snipe or kill unaware Zeds, like by using stealth, then that does not count. Also, kills that don't come from you directly, so NPCs and mines and stuff like that, that also does not count. Now, you will get a warning when the Plague Heart is about 75% awake, and you could leave, and over time that counter, that hidden counter we were talking about, will reset back down to 0. It takes about an hour, depending on how awake the Plague Heart was. But a fully awake Plague Heart never goes back to sleep, so it doesn't matter at that point. Once it's awake, the only thing you can do is kill the Plague Heart. Also, if you do kill a Plague Heart in the territory of one or more other Plague Hearts, there's a good chance that one of those Plague Hearts is going to be woken up by the act of you killing that Plague Heart. While a Plague Heart is asleep, there's no infestations on the map. Once you wake a Plague Heart up, it's going to start sending out infesting hordes to occupy buildings on the map. And the more noise you make at your base, the faster these hordes are going to be sent out, and the faster they're going to find where your base is located. Now, when an infesting horde occupies a building, it's going to become an infestation. There are two types of infestations. There's a regular infestation, that's this green colored icon over here, and those are generally outside the siege range of your base, but sometimes they can be closer. And then there'll be these orange ones. These are siege infestations, and these are the infestations that can take part in a siege. Now, infestations can have up to 3 levels. In order for them to level up, an infestation has to acquire more infesting hordes, either directly from a Plague Heart or from another infestation that has given up one of its levels to spawn an infesting horde. If you kill any of the freaks other than screamers in an infestation, they'll drop ammo, mods, etc. But if you just kill the screamers, the infestation will eventually collapse and despawn it, and regardless of what type of infestation it is. So if you are just trying to clear infestations, focusing down the screamers and then running away is an easy way to pull it off. Okay, let's just recap the process. So you're wandering around in Plague territory, you're killing Zeds, you're letting screamers scream. Eventually the Plague Heart wakes up and it'll start sending out infesting hordes. Those hordes will eventually start taking over buildings, and when they get close to your base, they're going to take over and form siege sites, and at this point, a siege could be triggered by the zombies in the siege sites that are surrounding your base. The more siege infestations you have, and the more of them that are level 3, means the worse that the siege is going to be when it happens to your base. Now, you can take part in the siege defense, and if you do so, you're going to earn prestige based off of how difficult the siege was. So a level 3 siege will earn you 300 prestige. That's one of the few ways to earn it outside of running Daybreak. You can stay away from the siege and let your community handle it, but they're going to lose resources and take injuries, scaling based off of like how bad the siege was. Now, all of these mechanics stem from the Plague Heart being awake. If the Plague Heart's destroyed, then any of the infestations that it spawned will wither and disappear over time. So, for example, I've got this Plague Heart that's awake up here, and it's created this level 2 infestation over here. On the far side of the map, there's a level 1 infestation, but you can see the color's not as bright green anymore. This is an active infestation right next to me. Over there is a withering infestation that is eventually going to disappear because the Plague Heart that created it, I've already destroyed it. So you can just ignore those, and over time, what's going to happen is they're just going to disappear. If you look all the way over to the left where that infestation was, it just eventually ran itself out and was gone. Now, I know saying just kill the Plague Heart may be easier said than done, and so I've put out another video alongside this video, and in that one I cover how outposts work after update 33 to 35, and how to use them both defensively and offensively to counteract things like these heart attack mechanics that we just covered. That's going to wrap it up for this video. Let me know if it helped by hitting that like button down below. Touch that monkey over there in the corner and subscribe, and head on over to my outpost strategy video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.